I got a notification from Facebook
Yes?
that we are live.
Oh, good. So we're here. Is there a way to mute?
Yeah.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody. It is wonderful to be with you this evening. For those of you who are live streaming, or for the first time, Facebook living or YouTubing, I've created a verb for all three of those things. All of you can find our Kaddish list as well as our song sheet on our temple website, as well as a link to a flipbook version of our prayer book Mishkan Tefillah. And as we gather together, we are reminded of how wonderful it is for us to be together, both in person and virtually, and feeling the words from our Psalms, Hine Matov, as our opening song. So we continue with Hine Matov on page 128.
Hine Matov u'manayim, shevet kulam gam yachad. Hine Matov u'manayim, shevet kulam gam yachad. Hine Matov, shevet kulam gam yachad. Hine Matov, shevet kulam gam yachad. Hine Matov u'manayim, shevet kulam gam yachad. Hine Matov u'manayim, shevet kulam gam yachad.
There is this understanding that Shabbat is different every week because we are different every week. We're different every week because when we start our week, we come with an open mind, we come with an open heart. Some of us may be really excited about something in the week to come. Some of us may be really nervous about something going on. And then throughout the week, throughout that cycle, we feel that sense of closure, that week's coming to an end. And here on Shabbat, we too are different. We may be a little tired. We may be a little restful. We may be a little more relaxed because we know that we have this long weekend ahead. Wherever we are in this cycle, wherever we are, we bring ourselves to Shabbat, and we bring ourselves with joy and love and comfort. And we look towards the heavens above as a place for our comfort, and we do so with Psalm 121, Esa Enai, which can be found on your song sheets.
Esa enai el harim, esa enai el harim, me'ayin yavo ezri, me'ayin yavo ezri, me'ayin yavo ezri, me'ayin yavo ezri. Esa enai el harim, esa enai el harim, me'ayin yavo ezri, me'ayin yavo ezri, me'ayin yavo ezri, me'ayin yavo ezri. Where will my help come from? מאין יבוא, יבוא עזרי, מאין יבוא, יבוא עזרי.
We formally welcome Shabbat with the lighting of the Shabbat candles on page 120, 121.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Cantor Ellen Dreskin reminds us that our midrash, our teachings within our tradition, tells us that our name Yisrael, when vocalized differently, can become Yashir El. God will sing. She reminds us that we are God's song into this world, and we are full of potential for harmony, for tension, for joy, for sorrow, for anger, for comfort, for pain and majesty. She reminds us that God sings through each of us. And when we sing with that sense of kavanah, that sense of intention. And one of those things that we sing in which we feel God's presence, in which we become vessels of God, is those words of Shalom Aleichem as we greet those ministering angels, and those ministering angels greet us, giving us a sense of wholeness and strength and peace. Shalom Aleichem can be found on our song sheet. Please pay attention to the third verse, where we will be using the word shuvchen, return to us in peace, instead of tzetchem, depart to us in peace.
Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malchei Hamlachim, Akadosh, Akadosh Baruch Hu. V'achem leshalom, malachei hashalom, malachei elyon, mimelech malchei hamlachim, hakadosh baruch hu. Shalom aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech Malchei Hamlachim, Hakadosh, Hakadosh Baruch Hu. Balchoni leshalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech Malchei Hamlachim, מלאכי השרת, מלאכי עליון, מי מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש, הקדוש ברוך הוא. שובכם לשלום, מלאכי השלום, מלאכי עליון, מי מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. שלום עליכם, שלום עליכם, מלאכי השרת, מלאכי עליון, מי מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש, הקדוש ברוך הוא.
Page 144, Hatzi Kaddish.
יתגדל ויתקדש שם רבה, אמן. בעלמא דברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכו בית ישראל. בעגלה, בעגלה, ובזמן קריב, ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מברך, לעלם עולם מהמיה, יתברך, יתברך וישתבח, ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל, שמי לקודשה בריחו, לילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, תמירן במה, ואמרו אמן.
Please rise. So, Rabbi Marsha Prager taught us that in our tradition, the simple act of a bracha, a blessing, has a cosmic effect. For a bracha, a blessing, causes shafa, abundant flow of God's love and abundant flow of God's goodness to pour unto the world. She reminds us that like a hand on the faucet, each bracha turns on the tap. And we're going to turn the tap a little bit this evening and explore and experience a different way to connect with God's love and goodness with a piece by Cantor Natalie Young, who will be joining us Shabbat Shirah in 2022, so just in a few weeks. And she has a setting called God of Creation. And Cantor, is there anything that we should know about God of Creation before you sing God of Creation?
So this is the Ma'ariv Aravim prayer, the prayer that we say for the evening. This is a very soulful version. When you come and join us, hopefully on January 14th, you will hear the choir sing this with us as well. And you can find the words on our song sheet.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim bechokhma poteach sharim. God of creation, who makes the evening fall from light into darkness with the setting of the sun, you unfold the heavens with brilliant moon and stars and wrap our souls with peace. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim bechokhma poteach sharim. Baruch atah Adonai Amariv Aravim.
Please rise.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Leolam Vaed.
Please be seated.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Page 157. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נטע בקודש, מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נטע בקודש.
Nora,
תהילות
Ose.
ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל.
So one of the things that I have learned about being a father is that comfort items are really important for children. Sometimes that comfort item is a stuffed animal or a stuffed toy. Sometimes that comfort item is a blankie. In Jonah's case, it is a blankie, and to see him take his blankie, to put it all around him so he can hold himself tight, just like when he was in a sleep sack, just like when he was a younger child. Yes, he was younger at one point in time, believe it or not. That sense of comfort, that sense of strength, protection, is something that all of us need, even though we aren't little kids. And in Judaism, there's this prayer, the Hashkivenu, that asks God to look over us, to protect us, to give us comfort, to give us strength as we prepare to end our day, go to sleep and start anew. So I invite you to join me in the Chatimah, the closing of the blessing of Hashkivenu at the bottom of page 160. Baruch atah Adonai, hapores sukat shalom, aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim. Blessed are you, Adonai, whose shelter of peace has spread over all of us. Amen.
162.
Yeshamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורותם, ברית עולם, ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם. ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, וביום השביעי שבת שבת ויהי נפש, שבת שבת ויהי נפש, שבת שבת ויהי נפש, שבת שבת ויהי נפש.
We rise together as we link to generations past. Page 164.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elohei avoteinu ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים, וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לפני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם בעזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, בחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע. מחכה חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים. רחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל, ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיה הכל.
Please be seated. Page 173. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. Page 175. You are with us in our prayer, our love, and our doubt, and our longing to feel your presence and do your will. You are the still, clear voice within us. Therefore, O God, when doubt troubles us, when anxiety makes us tremble, and when pain clouds the mind, we look inward for the answer to our prayers. There may we find you, and there may we find the courage, insight, and endurance we need. Let our worship bring us closer to one another, so that all of Israel and all who seek you find new strength for your service. Baruch atah Adonai, she'otcha levadcha b'yirah na'avod. Page 178. Shalom Rav.
Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Yehatohu Melech Adon, Lehu HaShalom. Sim leolam, v'tov b'einecha levarech et amcha Yisrael, b'chol עת ובכל שעה, בשלומך. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Tasim leolam. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, Tasim leolam. Tasim leolam. Tasim leolam.
We take a moment for silent meditation and reflection.
We're continuing on page 371.
Misheberach Avotenu Mekor habracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen.
On this Shabbat, we take a moment to think about those loved ones in need of healing, of body, of mind, of spirit. May our voices be heard to give them a sense of comfort and strength. As a congregation, we think of Richard Kennemer, Jack Long, Tamara Noten, Barbara Jacobs, Newt Westergren, Bruce Roberts, Gail Frankel, Allison Brunner, David Friedman, father of Lisa Friedman Schaefer, Patsa Nervo, mother of Aviva Paul, Richard Ravitch, former member of Shir Chadash, Judy Friedman, sister of Marcia Shane, Lauren Janovich, cousin of Joyce Bodek, Sherry Schwartz, my mother, Neil Schwartz, my father-in-law and Michelle's father, Neil Katz, cousin of Sue Sasso, Paco Chavez, father of Glory Chavez, and Marianne Riley, mother of Rosemary Bryan. We also add those names that are dear to you. As my eyes meet yours, if you would like to say the name of a loved one aloud, I invite you to do so. May all of those names that we have named aloud and within our heart be granted a sense of healing and strength. Baruch atah Adonai rofei hakol. Blessed are you, Adonai, who heals the sick.
Misheberach Aimotenu Mekor habracha Leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shalema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. Oh, say shalom, shalom bimromav, uya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru amen. Uya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, amen. Oh, say shalom, shalom bimromav, uya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru amen. Ve'al kol Yisrael, amen.
This week's Torah portion is Vayachi, and he lived. It's the story of the end of Jacob's life, and within it he blesses his sons and Joseph's two sons, Ephraim and Manasseh. Now, these are not ordinary blessings. Instead, Jacob describes each of his sons. Our rabbis have interpreted the poetry in these verses to mean that their futures and the futures of their descendants, the futures of their tribes, are determined by who they have shown themselves to be. Reuben, Shimon, and Levi, they are all rebuked. Judah is a lion, and his descendants will be leaders and kings. The tribe of Dan will be judges and avengers. The tribe of Naphtali will be free spirits and poets. But perhaps the greatest gift in Jacob's blessings is not the predetermined futures that our rabbi saw in them, but his honest recognition and acceptance of who each of his sons was. See, accepting others for who they are is not an easy task. That means having a right to their own feelings, their thoughts, their opinions. And when we accept people for who they are, we let go of their desire or our desire to change them. We let them feel the way that they want to feel. We let them be different and think differently from us. Now, I think that one of the blessings that we may receive from our loved ones, whether it be our spouses or our families or our dear friends, is that they accept us for who we are unconditionally. It's why I feel blessed each day knowing that Michelle is there for me, thick and thin. And while there are many things that she and I share in common, it's the things that are different that also bring us close together. She loves using her Cricut machine to make t-shirts or get lost in Michael's to discover a new craft project. And I love mostly everything Marvel or Star Wars and love getting and reading new books. We accept each other, warts and all. Similarly, we need to accept ourselves for who we are. Just as we do at Yom Kippur, we often make those resolutions on or around the secular New Year, plans for what we're going to do differently. And if those resolutions have any impact on who we are and on our lives, they must reflect who we are, what our priorities are, what we are really willing to do. To become more self-accepting, we must start by telling ourselves that given all of our negatively biased self-referencing beliefs, we've done the best that we can. And in this light, we need to re-examine our residual feelings of guilt, as well as our many self-criticisms and put-downs. We are valuable, we are worth it, and the best and worst of ourselves make us who we are. Acceptance is a gift that we give ourselves and a gift that we give to others. Acceptance means that we see our strengths, our weaknesses, where we live our best selves and where we do not, what we are proud of and what we are ashamed of. Now, acceptance doesn't mean that we're doomed to repeat our mistakes, that we must always stay stuck in these places. On the contrary, when we come from a place of acceptance, we're able to move forward. If we accept others, we can address our conflicts and challenges with them. Without acceptance, we don't know how or where to begin. Jacob gave his sons the gift of having seen them, having really seen them. And when someone sees all of who we are and loves us anyways, isn't that the best gift possible? It was Menachem Mendel of Katz that said, "If I am I because you are you, and you are you because I am I, then I am not I, and you are not you. But if I am I because I am I, and you are because you are you, then I am I, and you are you, and we both can talk." So let's strive to accept who we are. Let's strive to accept where we are and where those around us are, so that we can be our best selves in the coming weeks, months, and year ahead. May we all be strengthened, and may it ever be so. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
continue together praying for one day that the world will be at peace with words of Aleinu at the top of page 587. Please rise.
You may be seated.
The meditation before Kaddish can be found on page 592, and the Kaddish can be found on page 598. When I die, give what's left of me away to children and old men that wait to die. And if you need to cry, cry for your brother walking the street beside you. And when you need me, put your arms around anyone and give them what you need to give to me. I want to leave you something better than words or sounds. Look for me in the people that I've known or loved. And if you cannot give me away, at least let me live in your eyes and not in your mind. You can love me best by letting hands touch hands and by letting go of children that need to be free. Love doesn't die. People do. So when all that's left to me is love, give me away. On this Shabbat, we remember those loved ones whom death has recently taken from us. Jenneth Knox, Charles Scharfglass, Elizabeth Ludwig, Bernard Kennis, Charles Stone, Rima Zaratsky, Leonard Popowitz, Mark Elliott, Esther Young-Wedner, Marjorie Hart, Roseanne Lewitt, Morton J. Friedberg, Estelle Levine, Larry Lisenby, Mark Franklin, Rachel Belaya, Elliot Wesser, Andrew Verardi, and Karen Casey. We also add those names of those loved ones who passed away this season in years past. Kenneth Berkowitz, Bobby Woods, Robert Freeman, Harold Hess, Lily Hindawi, Elaine Jadell, William Curlin, Elizabeth Weichert, Evelyn H. Leshin, Gwen Schoenfeld, Ronald Stoneman, Gertrude Preville, Martin Samuels, Ida Slocki, Eugene Milton Stein, and Ruth Kramer. If you would like to add the name of someone who has passed away recently or whose yard sites fall on this time of year, I invite you to rise and do so at this time. Zichronam Livracha, may the memory of each and every person we have named aloud and within our hearts be for an enduring blessing. Supporting those who mourn and in the memory of the martyrs of our people, we rise together as Kaddish is recited. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, ve'almad yivrach yiruteh v'yamlich malchuteh, b'chayachon u'vyomechon u'v'chayeh dechol beit Yisrael, ba'gala u'vizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shemei rabbah mevarach le'olam almei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yinaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei d'kudusha b'richu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim, Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom imromav, hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru amen. May the source of peace send peace to those who mourn, and may the source of comfort send comfort to those who are bereaved, to which we say, Amen. It's my pleasure to invite up Todd Mins to share with us some announcements.
Shabbat shalom, everybody. Yeah. So, all upcoming events that'll be indoors will require masking. In-person services and activities will require masking. So, Kalanu learning this week, Kalanu Hebrew Sunday and Hebrew Tuesday. The Merkaz Lorette, Jet, and confirmations will not be in session this week. On Saturday, December 18th, we'll have Torah study at 9 a.m. with Nancy Staton. There will be the Share Shabbat services through Zoom at 10:30 a.m. with lay leader Ruth Saldivar and cantorial soloist Kristen Gustafsson. On Thursday, December 23rd, temple offices will be closing at 2 p.m. On Friday, December 24th, there will be holiday and the temple office and ECC will be closed. But that evening, a Shabbat service will be through Zoom at 5 p.m. with Rabbi Schwartz. And a preview to come for next year. Tuesday, January 11th, there's going to be a lunch and learn at 11:30 a.m. The Notorious RBG, The Life and Times of Ruth Bader Ginsburg. On January 14th, Friday, January 14th, there'll be, as I already mentioned, Shabbat Shara with the Sabbath of Song at 7:30 p.m. with Rabbi P.J. Schwartz, Cantor Devorah Felder-Levy, with musical guest cantor Natalie Young and our Shir Hadash Choir. And then for the community, Embrace a Family 2021 Needs You, now extended through December 31st. The Jewish Family Services Dreidel Board is virtual this year, so help fulfill the Hanukkah and holiday wishes of families and seniors this season. So you can go on and sign up at Sign Up Genius to help spread holiday cheer. For that.
Our concluding song this evening can be found on page 643, or is it on our song sheet?
Well, yes, that was the first song.
Oh, yeah. It's the first song.
We're going to conclude as we began. So we conclude with Asa and I. We invite the congregation to rise and join us.
Me'ayin yavo
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
So we're going to conclude up here with the Motzi and Kiddush. Due to the new laws by the county, we are not having oneg this evening. But we encourage you, when you, for those of you who are home, to grab something sweet to eat after we do the blessings. And for those of you that are here, we encourage you to do the same as you head off home. So we begin first with the Kiddush.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho v'ahava uvratzon inchilanu. Zikaron lema'aseh v'reshit, ki hu yom tehillah lemikra'e kodesh, zecher letziat Mitzrayim. Ki banu v'chata v'yotanu kidashta mikol ha'amim. Shabbat kodshecha ve'ava uvratzon inchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat. L'chaim.
Join me in Motzi. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz.
Amen. Or
Shabbat shalom. Thank you for joining us this evening. And everybody online. Are we out, Mark?